Hello, hello. This is episode 12 with Side Talk, Rami and Craig. We're going to talk today about kind of cryptocurrency, non-fungible tokens, and, Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, these kinds of popular cryptocurrency. How's it going,
Yeah,
Rami?
but going pretty good.
What's your take on all of this crypto crack?
Um, what I find interesting about everything. We're gonna get to uh NFOs in a second, right? Or NFTs rather, right?
NFTs. Yeah.
I was thinking of UFO. Um, random people now have crypto, like people that are not into crypto, or like not into like technology. I know
Mhm.
are noticing. Like my grandmother, she has
Yeah.
crypto.
Yeah, my
Like
mom's going to get it soon.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that tells me that makes me excited because I'm already in
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
and I want to ride that push. But I know at some point because anything that not everybody could be rich, right? I mean, that's how life goes, right?
Mm.
Yin and yang. So whoever gets rich, there's gonna be equal. I believe that. Like, there's an equal part that's gonna fucking lose that money, right? Uh, so I'm just like
You're
interesting
just
to
trying to figure
see.
out when to
Yeah, to get
cash out.
out. Actually, yeah, that's right. I'm thinking of exit strategy. Like everybody's like, yeah, look at it, the crypto. I'm thinking like, oh shit,
Mm.
when do I get the fuck out? But the good news is it's still not gonna pop anytime soon. You know, again, unless some kind of crazy shit happens, and like I said, this coronavirus, the new strains turn people into zombies or something. You know, I don't know. It should be fine. It should be stable for now.
Just to get people on the same wavelength as us here right now, we are currently in a bit of a dip. Actually, after a crash of the Bitcoin price, it reached all-time highs. It was pretty insane. It was a roller coaster, and then the roller coaster started coming crashing down, along with a lot of other crypto. And people are kind of just wondering how it's going to go next. A lot of people are thinking it's going to go whoop, right the way back up. This is a momentary correction period. A lot of institutions have gone on board, and Elon Musk and the crew are involved as well. And then other people are panic selling. Um, and what's interesting, Rami, you're saying about this exit strategy. I was thinking about that too, and I kind of changed my thinking about this. And you'll know people that think this too, and it's usually the hardcore community that think this. There's um there's this idea that, not an idea, but it's an eventuality perhaps, that crypto will replace um gold. Bitcoin will replace gold as a store of value. And in that case, you won't really need an exit strategy. When people mined for gold, people got in there and they mined up as much gold as they could. They didn't start being like, okay, now get me the cash. They kept the gold. And all the other people ran, trying to get their share of the gold. So my sort of idea about it now is put it away as a store and let that price keep rising as the scarcity increases as well.
I mean, that's interesting. I could see. I never really thought about it like that, comparing it to gold. I guess because in my mind, it has nothing like it has nothing in common with gold at all.
Why?
Um, well, gold's a precious metal,
Mm,
right? Nature created it, right? Its value, it's kind of natural to us, right? Gold has been valuable since the beginning of since me and you know. I
mm,
mean, we don't know any scripture, including the Bible, which is supposed to be the oldest,
mm-hmm,
formation of a book, but one of the oldest book in the world, right? The first book, right?
right.
There's, gold is mentioned in there, and so on. So it tells me that gold is some kind of it's something that people was like, wow, look at this shiny yellow thing,
Mm,
right? I want it. Hey, I'll give you my wife for it, or whatever, right? Right. So BTC, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency is not, right?
mm,
It's like what cryptocurrency is a mathematically unique set of numbers,
Mm,
right? That's what it is, right? So when it comes to those two things, I don't consider it at all. We invest in Bitcoin. I don't, yeah, I can invest in gold because it's a precious metal. It's a commodity, right? And
mhm.
and the perception of how expensive it is that's what drives its price, right?
Yeah.
But in a sense, though, I could go to any country and I could go down to. We've talked about this before.
Mm,
I could go down to a local store here and wherever, have a shiny. If they could verify it's gold,
mm.
they would find it valuable. My
But
friend brought a one second. Let me put a question to you, man. My friend got a good point. He was like, okay, current that can happen, but what about poor people?
mm,
Because and I'll tell you why. In order to have or show Bitcoin, you need some sort of electronic storage device, smartphone,
mhm.
something that can, hey, I need this to show you that it's valuable, right? If you're poor, how do you like,
What are you doing?
then they would be like wiped out, right?
Yeah.
You know. So but anyway, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, yeah, I'll maybe address that the sort of poverty area in a sec, but just a little thought to think about gold as one, a commodity, and other as a store of value. You know, w- how much gold is actually used in retail and how much gold is stored? Um, I think I heard that gold for the majority of it is stored. It's not actually moved around the world constantly from hand to hand. I mean, you think about the market whenever you buy gold. I've never bought gold online and then the gold comes and it's delivered to me. It's it's just kind of you own it, but it's digital. It's kind of like it may as well like no one's gonna post it to me.
Right,
Um,
right.
am I wrong? Right? I've never bought gold online, but I
I mean, you can places where you could get gold bullion, which is the bricks, right?
right,
Or
but
like little kind of plates. But yeah, you're right. I mean, think
Joe, I mean,
about
it's
it.
it's a concept.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all of this is perception. That's why when they say, "Oh, America's going crazy, printing trillions of dollars,"
Hmm.
doesn't mean nothing because it's about the perception of America.
Hmm.
It's not about the gold. Suppose when it was back in the gold standard, which most money was back
Hmm.
then, right? It was about, okay, this country is rich in its treasure.
Hmm.
Think about it. It's like treasures, like back, like, oh, the king of whatever has this treasure, right? So they stopped saying, okay, now money is going to be not based on the gold standard, meaning it's
Hmm.
not going to be based on some kind of weight of gold that you have stored somewhere.
Yeah,
And so nowadays, it's about perception. That's where
exactly.
money gets its value. What is Bitcoin perceived to value between the Bitcoin users, right? If you say like, yo, Bitcoin ain't worth shit to me,
Hmm.
Rami, then it's not. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like you can't really say that about gold though. If you say gold ain't worth shit to me, then you wouldn't be able to live.
Yeah.
Or a dollar is money, whatever you want to, because I'm
Well,
still equating that.
let's take you just mentioned money, cash, efectivo. It
Fiat
is
currency, that's what they
right
call it, fiat.
fiat currency. So we put value in that, and okay, it's not valuable, but again, it's like you mentioned the perception. We've all decided, okay, this is now valuable. So I just think when we've already got a precedent for that, where's the barrier for getting your head around putting value into a digital coin, one that's more useful than cash, one that can't be printed like it is being printed, and one that's divisible and
Oh, okay. Wait, let's stop right there. Okay,
mm,
because the I think the Treasury Secretary of the United, the new Treasury Secretary of the United States. I couldn't be mistaken because I heard she was like a former treasurer. I don't
mm,
know. Chairman, maybe the whatever. She is she said, okay, that Bitcoin. I mean, she just said, I don't like it. right?
Oh yeah.
It's like first it could get you broke because people are like just throwing money in there, right?
Hmm.
Two, she said that this is what I never really thought about, right? She said the
Environmental.
carbon footprint
Mm.
to make a Bitcoin is so grand
Mm.
that she's like it's bad for the environment, right?
Yeah.
And I just never thought about that. The energy, you never think about the energy it takes to do something. Like I'm talking about like
Yeah. Yeah.
electricity,
Yeah. The
you
power
know,
to do the
power,
mining.
right? The power to do something, anything. I just don't think about that. Like, oh, the energy costs,
Yeah.
and what does that mean? That a turbine is running somewhere, like like this,
Yeah.
and it's like you have to feed it coal or nuclear power, right, to keep it turning,
Yeah.
right? Right. So I just don't think about that. And when she said that to mine, you said paper. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I just for a second like you're right. We do plant a lot of paper. It'd be like
Mm.
less ink and stuff. But is making $50,000 or one Bitcoin, which is more now, which is more, which
I
just
don't.
takes
Yeah. I
more
have no
energy.
idea.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I bet you it's close, or it's not like Bitcoin is like, oh yeah, it's like Bitcoin is probably higher to do $50,000, right? So
And bro,
I
imagine shipping some gold from one place to another. Imagine shipping gold from,
well, that's no energy at all. I mean, really, if you think about it, shipping gold, because that's
why?
either by plane, which is planes are pretty efficient comparatively. Planes are efficient, as
Are
far
they?
as their carbon foot and what they do, the travel they do and stuff, way more efficient than a car, right? Right. So to get to a plane and then
But I'm
the
comparing one transaction with,
oh, you mean inefficient in the transactional sense?
yeah.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Bitcoin is instant.
Mm.
Well, maybe not instant, but pretty short time span, right?
Is it not?
So yeah, because it takes me a couple hours to send it to your wallet sometimes or whatever, right? But whatever, right? So yeah, I mean, listen, I think it could take over one day? No, I still don't, because we already have electronic money. We already have. It's called your debt, your credit card or your debit card. That's electronic, right? It's a number in your bank account, and it's just taking out the number. It's just there is no money getting exchanged there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
that is as instant as it can be. So they already have electronic money,
Mm.
right? Digital form of something. They've been had that for decades, right? So like what does Bitcoin do? It just says that these set of numbers are unique and you cannot replicate them, which is a great segue to the NFTs,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what are NFTs, right? For those of you who don't know, um, I really don't get it, right? But I'll try to explain as much as I can. I mean, I think I know what it is, right? It's
Okay.
basically a digital creation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Correct.
It could be art, it could be an image, it could be a video, it could be anything that was digitally created, right? And what makes it an NFO is that a
Eh,
crypto
bro, you need to get that right. NFT.
NFT, I'm sorry, NFT, a crypto, man, it's Sunday, right? A crypto, right? Identifier is added to that to make it unique,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you cannot replicate it.
Yeah, it's like a proof of purchase almost. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just said like like where's my authentic sticker? Well, yeah, these hats come with an authentic sticker. It's
mhm.
like, boink, this is authentic,
But
right? From
even more than that, like if you only want one produced, you know the way, and you could have authentic stickers on 17,000 caps, but you can only have one of these per digital item, or as
Oh
many
yeah,
as
yeah. I
that
mean, they're
person wants to
super
issue.
unique. I mean, that was a bad analogy because you're right. I could replace the sticker with somebody else.
Mm,
No, no, no. It's like if I sold that authentic sticker inside the weave of the so you cannot. And I made a little set of numbers on it, so it makes it very unique, right? I cannot replicate it. Now, well, but what people find is interesting, or what was the craze here, that you like there's have you seen the sports one yet? Did you see the sports
uh,
NFTs?
no, but I can imagine they what, like football players, basketball players are releasing
I
them,
mean,
are
it's like imagine like a new digital 3D
they? Hmm.
card,
Yeah.
right? And now they capture moments like LeBron,
Really?
yeah, like a LeBron or your Chelsea game today, like the best goal, you
Right.
know, by this player, and it'll have like a video, and it's like from an I it makes it like one unique image, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now, to me, I find this fascinating. One, I think it's genius, right?
Yeah.
On one hand, because it that is kind of dope, right? That I could do something now because everything could be replicated, you know.
Hmm. And plagiarized.
Uh, plagiarize. I mean, I that. So having said, if I'm an artist,
Hmm. Oh, Rami's just he's just disappeared. I wonder if he'll come back. What Rami was saying there was that if he's an artist and he wants to make it something that won't get plagiarized, he just issues this particular NFT, this digital version, with this print to show ownership. Okay, we're back. Hopefully, Rami will come back. Rami.
hey, our first technical difficulties.
Got it. Absolutely got it.
was
We
that? Was that you or I?
I think it was me, bro. I don't know why it just disconnected. It was just my Zoom. My Zoom just disconnected. I
Oh,
wonder
can you
should
see me? Oh,
no,
no,
I
you
can't
can't.
see you. I wonder we should I go and cut this and stitch it together with the other one?
Yeah, let's do that. Just put it all together. Right?
Yeah, nice for you to sit back. Fucking hell. That's a job.
No, it's
Um,
not. You could do it in 2 seconds. I could do it in 2 seconds. I don't have the software. I have to download. It would be a lot more work for me because I have to download the software. But if I had my
blah blah
Adobe,
blah
I'm
blah
telling you,
blah.
I could cut it
Convenient.
in 2 seconds
Yeah,
because you don't have to do any hard cuts. You're like when we 1, 2, 3, boom. You know.
it's fine. It's fine. Okay, well we're still going, bro. Let's go from here, hey. So you were
So
explaining.
yeah, yeah. So if I'm an artist, right, and I have a video, now I can verify that it's just for me. Like Craig can't copy it. You know, John Paul can't
Well,
copy it. You
you can
know,
copy it. That's a key
yeah, but it
point.
won't be authentic
It won't be
because it
authentic
won't
because
have the stamp. You know.
people can go and look up on the blockchain the specific print and be like, oh, it's actually that's Rami's. That's not Craig's.
Yeah. So, but there's always a way. Here's now here, but this is why I think it's also stupid, right? Because at some point, somebody's gonna be able to replicate this shit. Because like with any fucking thing out there, forgeries always come right afterward. You know,
But
I
how?
mean, any type of art, any type of digital, um,
But if it's in the ledger, bro, if it's in a ledger that can't be changed, like how are they gonna do that?
I don't know. I'm not an expert at that stuff, but somebody's gonna come up with a way. They always do, man. Think about it. Like that's to say never. Come on, man. What lock can't be got into? What place can't be broken into? You know, if a person invented it, man, right, or woman, right, another man or woman can, get into that shit. I mean,
But isn't it?
eventually, you know.
But isn't it like clear for everybody to see, like, because the way blockchain works, it's like all this information that's uploaded to the ledger is just spread across to everybody's computer, or everybody can
Eh,
see
If
everything that's updated.
if
And
I
yeah,
well, if I took a picture of you in 1980, right,
mm,
and I said to you in 1980, he's like, hey, and then, you know the instant photos,
mhm,
right? The Kodak photos, right?
yeah,
I said, hey, I can make you look like a woman in this picture, right? In 1980, you would have told me I was get how? I mean, it captures what I'm doing now. You can't manipulate that stuff. I mean, you would start coming out with everything, right? You know, 10 years later, they came up with Photoshop, right? I'm just
mm,
saying, okay, they will come up with a way to forge this thing. I can't give you like how.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
but but in every movie, right, too, like where they have these like, oh yeah, this is unbreakable code. There's always somebody that could go in and unbreak it. I know it's a movie,
Mm,
but they had hackers, right? I'm just saying, there's a way to forge this stuff,
sure,
right? That's going to be, I don't know, at some point in the future.
sure. It's an interesting thing. It's like we're already seeing NFTs being sold. You know, you got William
Yeah.
Shatner. He apparently released some versions of. Is it from his Trek days? Little like images.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's something like that. But that's cool because he got like photos where he released, where he stamped already, right? With his,
And he
I
gets
have no better,
royalties.
right? And I'm just like, he's like, yo, so these are, and but I copied that photo,
Hmm.
right? And I gotta find somebody that wants the original, which won't look any different than the copy, right? Because it's gonna, because I could copy it now. It just, I
Hmm.
can't copy the encryption or whatever, the crypto part of
Sure.
it, right? All right. They're like, yeah, I'd rather fuck it. I wanted to make a poster anyway. I'm gonna just take
But
your,
yeah, but let's
download it for free.
think about the mentality, bro. Like, imagine you bought a picture of the Mona Lisa from somebody, and it's it looks exactly like it, but then somebody comes to your house and says that's the Mona Lisa. Well, actually, it's a copy, but it's pretty cool, right? The people nine people out of 10 would just look at it and be like, oh, you know. But a and this is where the magic comes in. If you have that little signature or whatever is on the Mona Lisa, people are just like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe you've got that. It's the same dealio. It's like an
I
Instagram.
mean, listen, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not completely stupid. I'm just, I like to. It's like half stupid, half
Oh no,
genius.
I
You
agree
know?
with you in the stupidness.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
people's, but like, we're talking this. We're kind of getting a common theme of perception here, Rami. Our perception of money, our perception of value. Like, look at brand. Brand. We we just they can charge an extra $10 or $100 if they want, just because they're Nike or they're Adidas or they're you know. uh,
Wait a minute. How did you say that? Adidas.
Adidas. Yeah, I know you say
That's how.
Adidas. We say Adidas
What?
over here, and we actually say Nike.
What?
Yeah, we say Nike and Adidas, and you guys say Nike.
Adidas? That's that's
Why do you make
hilarious.
it sound more foreign than I've just said it?
Because it is, it sounds foreign. Adidas.
What are you doing, bro? That's not even. Why are you going? Yeah, you're going Asian on me.
I don't know. I'm just.
Wow, wow.
And Nike.
Yeah, we
I
say
guess
Nike.
that makes a little more sense
Do you know that
than
do you want to go
Adidas.
through all the words that we say differently over here?
No,
Like
no, no, no. Go ahead.
aluminium
Go.
and
Aluminium.
aluminium, vitamins. You're losing your shit now, aren't you?
Okay, okay, okay. All
Right.
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, that's all. I'm just saying perception, brand. I mean, it's really nothing at the end of the day. But you can put on extra price, um, money, perception. It's all tied. Humans.
Yeah, between yeah, it's all about a group of people that value a certain thing,
Hmm.
At some future BT, in like a post apocalyptic future, maybe BTC would be like the bomb, because that's how people would be able to exchange money.
Yeah.
Um, but I think gold is gonna always be there. Wiping out gold, I just don't. I
But bro,
just think that
if
that's like wiping out religion, man. It's like good
look
luck.
look at it this way, right? We recently reached, whenever Bitcoin had an all-time high, it reached a market cap of 1 trillion US dollars, and the market cap, I think, for Bitcoin, or no, sorry, for gold is it like 10 trillion or something like that? You know, you would have laughed if you said, you know, 3, 5, whatever amount of years ago, that Bitcoin would have this much money invested in it, uh, a tenth of gold. You know, the world works quickly. Who's to say it won't flip gold? What happens, bro, whenever the market cap of Bitcoin reaches that of gold. I mean, it's almost doing the work for you, making the decision for you.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I just like I'm not saying Bitcoin won't be used for a long, long time. What happens if something comes out better than Bitcoin?
It
I mean,
probably,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
like, there's nothing better than gold, though. What's better
Mm.
than gold? A new rock, a new element. Silver ain't better than gold, and silver is shiny as fuck, right? I mean, like, you know, you know, I mean, right?
I love how it's just so like primitive, shininess.
I mean, it is.
Show me a
Why else?
shiner, shinier
Why
diamond.
else? Why else would in the Renaissance from BC to AD, they value gold. It's not like they had the technology to say, well, this is unique. You know, they looked at it and it's shiny, and that's what
Yeah,
it comes down to. It's like shiny bling, bling. You know,
yeah.
that's what it came down to, and that shit had great bling. Now diamonds are more valuable than gold, right? But
Mm.
you can't break diamonds into little. I guess you could, but it'll be too hard
I've heard they're quite
to
hard. Those
yeah, I
diamonds.
mean, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. To break it down, you're absolutely correct. So that's now again primitive stuff. Gold is softer, right?
Mm.
and and it's shiny. That's why it's like the dope shit. The Bible.
Let's give a couple of interesting facts about NFTs, just for context to the people, and sort of understand the potential. I sent it to you. I think there's the Nyan cat, this kind of meme cat with a rainbow shooting out its arse, and it got sold as an NFT, as a digital asset, for $580,000. I think. Somebody actually put their money on the table and bought that thing. In fact, you know what's even funnier? They bought it with Ethereum. They bought it with a cryptocurrency. We're buying digital art with the cryptocurrency. And another thing to tie into that is the fact that NFTs work on the Ethereum platform. So it just, something to think about is that there's these assets that are being built upon a system that we have, the second largest market cap out of all the cryptocurrencies. Ecosystems. They're talking about the web 3.0. It's like having I don't know, Amazon attached to Google. Is that weird to say? No. But do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Like you're buying the crypto with another crypto. That's like buying Bitcoin with Cardano or whatever, Ripple, right? Right? It's like, huh? Right? It's just crazy. But people do that all the time. They buy crypto with crypto.
Yeah.
So
But not just,
yeah,
like not just as an exchange, as actually like purchasing is happening, you know?
yeah. No, I can't buy stuff with Cardano yet or whatever.
Mm,
But I could buy stuff with BTC and ETH, more
yeah.
BTC than ETH. Like I said, it is just that has to be a key element to its growth.
Mm,
More people accept it, and I just don't know how are the people that don't have those devices
hmm.
or some kind of way to
Oh
transfer it
yeah, the
yet.
poverty thing.
The poverty thing. How is that? That's going to be a challenge for Bitcoin to grow. I'm not saying there's no way around it.
Mm.
Maybe in some future, Back to the Future was delayed, or 20 years more. It should have been 2040 instead of 2020 or whatever, right?
Mm.
And then this new future, everybody's going to be technologically
Bro,
like down and shit.
maybe it'll be as simple as they ain't gonna get involved until they can get those devices and afford and become part of the system.
Yeah,
And,
but
and let
that
me let me give you a little example here. Think about the tribal people that we have in this world. We're running around with credit cards and cash, even cash, bro. And they'll look, if we came into the jungle and been like, can you give me that little spear of yours? I'll purchase it from you, and then start handing this piece of paper over to them. I mean, like, they're not involved in the game, so maybe it's maybe wiser
Yeah,
to.
but poverty is not only isolated to the jungle with a tribe. I mean, poverty is all over. It's in Ireland, it's in Colombia, it's in New York. I mean, it's all over. It's not like isolated on any of it. It's on your face.
Mhm.
Look, go to if you don't believe me, go to California
No, no, no.
sometime in your life, and you'll see a whole bunch of homeless community.
I
I'm
know,
talking
I
about,
know. I
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. How are you gonna even something that's low income? Forget about poverty, because that's like everybody thinks like the
okay,
bottom.
okay, low
You know,
income.
let's say low income, right?
Hmm.
A smartphone costs anywhere between, I don't know, the cheapest I've seen is like $200 to
Okay.
like thousands, right? I mean, again, right? How you get like $200 is still a lot. It's a pretty significant investment, you know. I'm not saying that they don't have phones already. A lot of them do,
But
right?
maybe
But
it,
but
maybe it's
smartphones that could do that,
yeah, but maybe
that
it's
could
just
you
a case of fading out, Rami. Like you know, those low income people, a lot of them can't set up bank accounts and have credit cards and that. Something that's,
That's what I'm saying. But they could still deal in hard cash.
yeah, well,
That's
maybe
what I'm
there'll
trying
be
to say.
maybe there'll
They
still be cash of some sort, but
I mean,
most of the
unless they get paid
transactions.
in Bitcoin, and now instead of the dollar, there's going to be Bitcoin bucks. I mean, but that's just replacing, apples with some oranges, right? I'm just saying,
Yeah, I can't see that.
I think this is a civil problem. Now, you cannot, like, it's civilly, I wouldn't say impossible, but short of, to get rid of something tangible as a value, right? And I think, through society, that's just, that's like part of the formula.
But
There.
I'm listening to you, Romy. I'm just thinking like of history because it can often sort of shed light on these things. You think about people how they traded value before, and it was with like anything
They
really.
bartered. They
They
bartered.
bartered, they
Yeah.
bartered, and then there was money that came in. Um, yeah, I guess it would be a phasing out kind of a dealio,
Yeah. I just don't see that ever happening unless some kind of collapse happens.
But
And
when you
uh,
think about going from bartering to money, what happened there?
well, I told you, somebody discovered some kind of shiny thing, and they're like, "Hey, I'll give you the shiny rock for
Hmm.
that,
But there was an
water
agreement.
bucket,
There was an agreement, bro. There was still an
right,
agreement.
right. I'm just saying, yeah, because it was tangible, right? It's nothing. If they came out with a
But we just need to get our mind over
imagine,
that.
imagine, look, this is a good, right? Imagine I came out, right, and they're like, "Yo, I got this water, yo. You want
Mm.
it, right? Yeah, yo. You all right? You got like cows or something? I like milk.
Mm.
No, but I do got this picture,
Yes, but you could
right?
no, but no, bro. You're leaving
Right?
out a
I'm
big
just saying,
detail.
right? No,
You
no, no,
can't
no. But I do.
store that.
I,
No,
I
it's
do
not
got.
the
Hold
same,
on. Let
bro.
me let
It's
me let me
not.
roll out the papyrus.
It's
I
not
do
the
got.
same as okay. Well, the papyrus is more comparable than something invisible.
No, I didn't say invisible. I'm sorry. I meant to say
Oh,
in my
right.
hand I have a rolled up picture, because back then they rolled up
But bro, you're
things
just
and scrolls. A
describing
scroll. I
you're
had
just
a
describing
scroll.
money because that's what paper is.
No, actually, I'm describing Bitcoin. I'll tell you why. Because money is backed up by countries, right?
Yeah, what if
Is
countries
I
adopt it?
mean, Bitcoin's is just a community. Oh, okay. Well, then we're talking about regulation, Craig. Now, countries
I
adopt
knew
it
this
and
conversation.
I mean, I'm just saying, if for it to blow up like you're saying it will, it
Mm,
needs to be regulated. And I think people do not realize that,
hmm.
right? But if you regulate it, you take away a lot of its,
But why?
its shininess.
So
You take away
so
Bitcoin's shininess if you regulate it. But it has to be regulated. It is the biggest catch 22 in
t-
the
t-
in the world.
tell me why. So why does it have to be regulated and in what way? Because so I'm just thinking about cash. People are talking about how you can do black market stuff and you can buy all these and you can avoid taxes and everything else. Look, we have cash that we're dealing in. People have all cash businesses. They mightn't pay any tax. They might be selling drugs. They might be purchasing this and that, and that's regulated. So what's the difference if we have something actually that we can see our transactions that okay, maybe it's not regulated, but you can see what's moving and what's going. And maybe that'll advance with smart contracts, and there'll be a
Yeah,
more proof of what you know
right, right.
added to
So
it.
there are two big adversarial forces here, right? There's the individual who wants to be anonymous, and
Hmm.
that could be for several reasons, right? And the government entity that doesn't want it to be anonymous, and that's also for several reasons, right?
Hmm.
Most people that don't want it to be anonymous, either you're doing illegal or illicit activity,
Hmm.
either you don't want to pay taxes, right? Either you just don't want anyone, you want privacy, for whatever reason, right?
Who knows?
I'm just saying,
Who would want that?
and the bureaucracy. You want zero bureaucracy between you and somebody around across the world,
Hmm.
because that if there's a world currency, because that's what Bitcoin is, right? Then I don't have to exchange in anything. I could just exchange between us, right? Now the government side of that is they want regulation because they want to tax you,
Hmm.
right? Because that's what governments do. They are a business. They tax you motherfuckers,
But
right?
bro,
And
what about this? Like if there was something set up where the government could see the government can see your ledger. Like let's say it has all your transactions, and we add something like even the government can add their own add-on where you can put your income and so on, and then boom, you've everything's accounted for. And if it's not accounted for, they find you suspicious or they don't believe you. That's whenever investigation starts. But do you know what I'm saying? I just like I don't
yeah,
under
but that's not gonna happen, right, Craig?
why.
Because government is known for keeping track of citizens. I mean, that's what they do.
But is that not
The-
perfect? Is that not perfect to have a ledger where they can go on and see there's
Right, but then they'll know how much money I made,
hmm
what I who I sent it to. That's the whole point of having. Like, I just went through you the reasons why people want to be anonymous, and you're like,
or the
yeah, but that's what
privacy.
right, right.
Mhm.
Because
Uh,
if you take away the anonymous part,
yeah, I know what you mean.
sorry about that. The anonymous part about Bitcoin,
Mm.
right? You take away a lot of its attraction for people who that use it. They like being like, Big Brother doesn't watch us. So the government wants to tax you. One, they want to track stuff to prevent illegal activity,
Mm-hmm.
right? They want to prevent stuff to stop prevent illegal illicit transactions for human trafficking. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, terrorism, stuff like that. Washing money from drug trades or whatever,
Mm.
right? Right. That's another thing, right? Three, they want to track you because they want to keep this is a way of them keeping tabs on people,
Mm.
right? And people want to look at that as evil Big Brother, but if you ran a government, you would want to keep tabs on people too, because you don't want anything threatening the security
Sure,
of
bro.
that government. You
But
know,
we already have bank accounts set up, and that's how the majority of people, is it
right?
not?
And every government has a way that the banks they have to do this,
Mm.
right? They have to inform you if they see suspicious activity. So they're saying we don't want to watch everything because they can't, not because they don't
Mm.
want to. They can't. They don't have the sources to watch every dollar or pound or whatever, right?
Hmm.
So they tell the banks, hey, if you see something out of the ordinary, you better fucking tell us, right? And
Yeah.
the banks comply because again, they rely on government to do. They need government to do the business,
Yeah,
right?
fair.
So that's what I'm saying. You're
And
going down a circular kind of thing here that you just can't get out of because that's how it's always been, always.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I was just thinking like the government could observe that ledger, and if there does look like suspicious activity, they could they could dedicate a team, aka like whatever the banker's role is at the moment, and then start you know cracking down on them. Not obviously they wouldn't have the power to be able to stop the transactions, or maybe that can be brought in. I don't know, but that would be centralized. Uh, but they perhaps could go and investigate, and you have to be able to back up your transactions. Like
Well,
maybe it's a kind of set, like the transactions can happen,
yeah,
and then there's a
yeah,
review,
okay. So
maybe that's
I
not
mean,
effective.
because you're if the government was an honest player here, and they were really worried about your privacy as a citizen of whatever country, then yes, you are right. They could figure out a way, but they're not. Listen, you know, America leads the way on a lot of things, right?
Or
Maybe we got our constitution from English ideas, John Locke or whatever, right? But America. Since then, America leads the way in kind of what a democracy should look like. Maybe apart from the U. I mean, like, you you're like our twins, right? Or cousins, right? So in terms of government, how it's formed,
okay.
republics. We're not Democrat. People think we're a democratic society, but we're republics, right? Because we have senators, you have representatives, and such and so forth, right? So right, back in after 9/11, right? The Bush administration took advantage, because I have no other word, right? After the destruction, to do pass a lot of things in the name of protecting us from terrorism. One of
Mm,
the things they did was a bill called the Patriot Act. Now, the Patriot Act was formed in its language, right, to to prevent terrorism from the very beginning. How it made it a lot easier to get taps on people, blah blah blah, right? To monitor and observe and people, right? They use the Patriot Act as a way to get a court order to tap your phones or your cell phone. Before it was a little harder, a lot harder in some cases. This shit made it super easy. Now, only for terrorism, but they didn't put those words "only for terrorism" in the bill, because at that time they said, well, it's like anything they passed, because they said terrorism was so close to 9/11, they passed it. So Patriot Bill, Patriot Act. You heard the word Patriot Act, right? My point being, and I'll keep it short, right, is that they use this Patriot Act to arrest drug dealers, arrest armed traffickers. You're just like, yeah, great. Wrong. It's not great, because it supersedes the Constitution and your rights, right? All I'm saying is, right, is that if a government has a chance to observe you, right, they're gonna take it. Why? Again, because they people think that there's like these forces trying to change everything to some slave new world order, and we're already in it, right? The government, I'm telling you, the government already controls things. Is that they want to keep things status quo, man. What did Biden do when he got back into office, Craig? What's the first thing one of the first acts he did? He bombed Syria. Now Trump, with all the people that hate him, right? He never called for bombings, or I mean, I think one time he ordered the bombing of like some bullshit. Like, it wasn't even like near civilians. You know, Biden went right back to American a military complex thinking.
I
Because
didn't
he
actually
wants.
know about that. But
Yeah,
so
yeah, he
what? He
did.
just bombed Syria?
Well, he said that because Syria was with Iran, and bro, Syria is the most torn place right now. I mean, their people are suffering,
Mm.
right? They don't. You know what they fucking don't need? Another fucking bomb, right? I'm just saying. I don't know what. I don't know what the logic is. I didn't look into like why they retaliate. What was the retaliation for? But they retaliated and they bombed. And I'm just saying, like, wow, I haven't heard that in the news
Mm, a
so
long time.
long. Like something bombing, like us bombing somebody. And
Mm.
again, so I'm like, damn, bro, this is we're just getting back to things how they used to be, right? And that's the biggest mistake we could do. That's why Trump got elected. But anyway, back to Bitcoin. Yes, so regulation has to come for it to blow up, and I just don't think people are realizing that, that
Mm. Let
in the
me put this
future of
to you.
Bitcoin.
Let me put this to you, Romy. We may not be able to wrap our little heads around, all the ins and outs of how this is going to go down, and everything. But at the end of the day, when you look at the amount of cryptocurrency coins and tokens and basically companies, they have a huge amount of funding behind them. And a lot of these funders are businessmen who have been in the game a long time. You got like, isn't it like Jack Dorsey, the Twitter guy? He's invested. You've got Elon Musk. He's investing. You got. We're talking about Stone Ridge Asset Management. They're investing. You got this company in Dubai or whatever, like 1 billion of $1 billion in cryptocurrency is no joke. And you've got programmers, like some really smart ass people who are working on all this stuff. And I look at the minds that are behind this industry, you know, and I think to myself, they wouldn't have got stuck into this unless they had gotten around together and said, do you think this can come to fruition? Do you think this can actually be something? Listen, they're 100 times smarter than we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I disagree with that, right? I'm
Why?
not, but because they're not 100 times smarter than you and I. Again, that's the luck thing we talked about last week. But
But you think?
anyway,
Oh no, Rami, no.
yes, they're not just,
No, listen,
yes, 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 yes. And a lot of it's luck.
they understand what's
I'm not saying they're
possible
not.
in
I'm
this
not saying they're
industry.
not smart people. I'm just saying they're not smarter than
But do you
you
think,
or I.
Rami, do you think, Rami, that all these programmers got into teams, dedicated their lives, did research, are still driving forward after most of them probably in the game about 5 years, and then going back obviously to Satoshi 10 years, got all of this funding, convinced a key players and funders, and are still receiving funding and are still driving forward. Like, do you not think at some point this should have should this not have failed so long ago if there was not some way to get it into eventuality?
Yeah, I mean, but when you give examples of them investing in Bitcoin, I just that's like investing in any stock, right? Because that's what drives the price up, investment. So if I say I'm a billionaire, I
Mm.
go, I'm gonna invest $1 billion in this, right? Just by me saying that, like Elon Musk did, right? It's self-interest. Like I bought this a week ago, two
Mm.
weeks ago. I'm announcing it today, and guess what?
But it
You're gonna
doesn't.
make me a fortune, guys,
Yeah,
because
but
I put in
that
money here. You know,
but that's
that's
in.
I mean, that's just yeah, but that's not genius.
No, no,
That's
no, no,
just
no. But
that's actually manipulation. That's not genius,
yeah,
man.
but bro, like these companies are not doing that the way, like they're not getting in, speculating, or just saying I'm investing and then getting out with the extra cash when the price is raised. Like they're in it.
Yeah, they're long-term investors. I mean, that's not again
So
out of
they
the
see
ordinary.
value in the company. They see value
That's
in that
great.
in that this
I
is going to
mean,
be something for the long haul.
yeah. Who is that? Who said it's gonna die tomorrow? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like it is. It is just. It's just Bitcoin is good as long as they think it's good, right? And that's it. And once that feeling or that perception of it is gone, then it's gone, man. There's gonna be. I'm telling you. You think there's not gonna be something better than Bitcoin that comes
No, no.
around in a few years? I
Well,
mean,
I
I'm just
think
saying, like.
Cardano's trying to do it, bro. I think
Right.
Cardano's.
Whatever. I mean, I don't even know if it is or not. I'm
Mm.
just saying, like, it's going to happen. And once, like, the common person says, oh, this is better crypto, and once that becomes perception, once you say to me, like, yeah, Cardano's better than Bitcoin, Rami, once you actually say that, when I hear that, I come out of your mouth, right? Right? Because, it's actually more, and I'm like, okay, now I'll know that Bitcoin will start dying, you know?
Mm.
And I'm just saying, man, just because they invested in it doesn't make them geniuses. Doesn't make them like, wow, they believe in some future,
No, no, no.
right?
But we're
They're
not talking
just
about we're talking about whether or not this will be adopted into society by the government, and
it will
that's the
not.
argument.
Yeah,
And you
not the
don't think
U.S.
that
government. Not
so
the
you
U.S.
don't think
government.
it will. I'm saying there's a high likelihood
What?
since.
But
Oh,
why wouldn't the U.S. just come up with its own crypto, and Russia,
yeah,
and China, which they
but
are, right? I mean,
maybe that's
that's
coming. Maybe that's
that
coming,
is
bro.
coming. But I'm just saying, for Bitcoin specifically,
Hmm.
it's another
Oh no, I'm
product,
talking about
man.
no, I'm
It's
talking
just
about
another product.
crypto. I'm
Oh
talking about
yeah,
crypto.
crypto. Yes, yes. We talked about this,
Oh.
right? Crypto, the technology is dope. That's never gonna leave. The technology of it is gonna be
No,
dope. But
but hold on a second, bro. You were denying the fact that the government wouldn't accept crypto as the new
no, I
norm.
never said that because they could have their own regulated crypto coming out. They don't need Bitcoin. You know what I'm
You're talking
saying?
about you're talking about
Yeah,
deregulated,
centralized coin, like a
decentralized.
centralized coin. No, no, no. They would never have a decentralized coin. They
Hmm.
would have a centralized coin because again, regulation. That's
Okay.
regulation means centralized.
Okay.
Decentralized is
I
wild, wild
gotcha.
west.
I gotcha. Cool. Is there
I think that's
any other
yeah. I
thing we
mean,
need to touch on? I think we've covered that.
no, no. That's
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think
I'm ready to stop.
it's an interesting development. I'm very excited to see what's going on. I just checked it there. It hit like it bottomed out on all the crypto, and it's starting to go up again. But like
Yeah,
we don't
manipulation. This is you know why it dumped. There's these F2
F2
miners. They call
pools.
F. Oh, you've heard of it. I'm so
Yeah,
surprised. Like you see what I'm saying? It's becoming like it's like almost scary that it's becoming like common like F2
common
pool.
knowledge.
Like you even know what the fuck a F2 pool is, right? But it's
Yeah.
like yeah, the F2 pools. Like yeah, so you're like or having your fucking carrots and dip with wine. Yeah, the F2 pool. That's what's doing it. Of course. Right,
Yeah.
right, whatever, right. That's like so scary to me. It just
Why?
makes me kind of cringe because it just tells me that because people are stupid, Craig.
Right.
We as a general, you're talking about smarter than us. They're not smarter than us, but they're smarter than people, right?
Right.
People are stupid. When people start investing into
Mm.
crypto, I get worried because stupid people do not make money. Not all the
Mm.
time. I know some stupid
Sure.
people with money, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you. I feel you.
but anyway, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
So
Well,
episode 12 in the books, man.
there
It's
we
been
go.
fun.
Done and dusted. Thanks, everyone. Love yous.
Take care.
Bye
You
bye.
know, subscribe.
Subscribe. Yeah, we don't ever
We
ask
don't even
anyone to
say
do
that,
that.
right? No, right?
Listen,
We
if
better get
you
it together.
want
We're still
to,
newbies. We're just still newbies.
nah, do you know what? Fuck that shit, man. Like, if you want to subscribe, do it. You know, if you don't, don't.
No,
Okay.
but watch us.
But you could watch us if you want.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, watch us.
good to listen. Anyway, right. We'll end it here. Love, love, love.